Welcome to my latest experiment. This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley Podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. You're listening to the Guy and Harley Show, the Guy and Harley Podcast. And that was our intro, and this is episode 2. I am Guy Pigden.
And I am Harley Neville.
Welcome back. If you listened to the last episode,
we're proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're the only one. No,
you'll be receiving your gift in the mail. But, thank you for joining us on this adventure that we call sitting inside on a beautiful sunny day.
You're using up the last of the sun. I'm going to work in a couple of hours. I'm sitting inside instead.
But we wanted to talk with you guys. So here we are.
Sacrifices need to be made sometimes.
Now, we're still getting the hang of this podcast thing, to be honest. Not in terms of the content, which is always excellent, but more in terms of the technical mumbo-jumbo, the things that we have to work out technically to get it up online and sounding amazing. So I'm working on that stuff. So, just bear with us. If the first episode sounded a little funky, don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. So
on with the show.
On with the show, episode 2. Now, in episode 1, we did talk about The Interview, a film that was basically banned from theatres due to the threat of terrorism.
Yeah, and at the time, I swore vehemently that I would go and see it just to support it. If it ever came out, I swore that if somebody had the balls to release that film, that I would definitely go and see it.
Well, they released it.
I didn't go see it.
They released it online, and by all accounts, it's a very successful online download. I think the first week it sort of made about $18 million, which is about how much they expected it to gross theatrically at the cinema, maybe a little bit less. But the difference is, I think they're still losing money. So the terrorists may have not won as we proclaimed, but they certainly have cost Sony a lot of money. But the good thing is the film is out there.
And Sony's got money out the wazoo. They'll probably just be stoked for the publicity.
So, but it will be interesting to follow that film and how it does online, because it's, it's gotten about as much publicity as you could possibly hope to get for a film. And it is probably the biggest film to be released straight for video on demand straight away, as opposed to going to the theatre, even though it wasn't by their choice. So it'll be interesting to see how the immediate piracy of that film affects the film. I think it will probably hurt it quite a lot.
Yeah, sure, but maybe they should be, instead of thinking of films and piracy and worrying about making the money back, maybe the way they should be doing it is they say, all right, well, look, 100 million eyeballs are going to see this, even if 80 million of them didn't pay, so therefore we're going to put this, this iPad in shot, and we're going to charge Apple a whole arse load of money, so even though we're not getting ticket sales, Apple is still getting their product in front of 100 million eyes, and we're going to charge them for that instead, And
that's, I'm sure that kind of way of sort of financing or contributing to films is going to be, product placement is not new, but perhaps that will be a more viable way that these films are constructed.
Yeah, well,
the future.
Is it not plausible that in the future they will encourage a little bit of piracy for that very reason, to get the products out in front of as many eyes as possible?
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new world. Now, I've got a couple of topics on the old agenda today.
All right, what do we got?
First one I wanted to hit you with Indiegogo, which we have some experience in. Now, for you who don't know what Indiegogo is, it's basically a Kickstarter support funding, crowdfunding website.
That's where you ask the internet for money for your project, and just it's a website. You can just go there and donate your hard-earned cash to people that you think are deserving.
Just people that you believe in their project. A lot of film projects, both short and long, are pitched there. Also sort of ideas for designs of things. It's like, I've got a great idea for this new watch or this revolutionary product which will, do all these amazing things, but I just need the startup money to make it, to get it done.
I just thought of the perfect project for it. The Fuckabed.
Right.
Okay, this is my invention, which is a blow-up mattress with a vagina in it, Now, I just need to make a prototype and I can start selling that on the internet. The Fuckabed.
And rigorous testing.
Rigorous testing. Oh, yeah, I'll be practicing. I'll be trying it out, Because the last thing you want to do is get it home and, find that it's not very comfortable or, very difficult to clean, So I will be doing some very thorough testing. And seeing as my girlfriend's away at the moment, now is actually the perfect time for it.
So look for that Indiegogo support campaign starting up for the next few days.
Yeah, it's going to be called, working title, The Fuckabed, but probably when I put it out, I'll call it The Lonely Camper.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, because it's portable. It's like a blow-up mattress. It's like a blow-up doll, but it's a mattress.
Well, yeah, but it's not like a blow-up doll. First and foremost, it's a mattress, okay? So that's the difference here. It's not a sex toy. You don't get it from the sex shop. It's a mattress, just a particularly comfortable one. And
with a vagina in it.
Well, yeah, and so basically, I was at the camping store and I was looking for a mattress, an inflatable mattress, and I was thinking, well, if I had the choice between an inflatable mattress or an inflatable mattress with a vagina, which one do you think I'd choose?
Look, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue that you would just pick the normal one, except obviously not wanting to look like a...
No, but here's the thing, it's discreet. It's got what I call a modesty flap,
right?
Which is a little flap that goes over it, perhaps held down with some Velcro or something. I'm not really sure about the technicalities of it just yet, but it's got a modesty flap, so it's hidden. Grandma can sleep on it when she comes around, and she'll never know.
Right, but it does have to have that listed on the front of it.
Oh, on the packaging, sure, but not on the mattress itself. So, you get it home, take it out of the packaging, and it's just a mattress as far as your guests are concerned. But when you need to go camping or you need to sleep in the lounge because you got trouble with the missus, you got no trouble with the missus, you're sorted.
Yes, well, the warehouse have just banned R18 products or something, so they won't be stocking that.
But in all seriousness, the way I would do it, though, is I would sell it online. I would make a funny video with you promoting the product, and I would sell it online as a thing that people can order, so there's very low overheads. There's only the cost of the product itself. Yeah. So I just need a little bit of startup money to make that prototype, because presumably you can't just get a blow-up mattress and get a vagina and sew them together. You've got to design your own mattress and design your own vagina, presumably.
Which...
to make a proper prototype.
Leads us to another terrible Indiegogo campaign. But basically, this is what people do on Indiegogo. They think of ideas, and we did this for ourselves for our feature film Older.
With the fucker couch.
Which was, we wanted money to shoot our second feature film, and so we sort of designed a pitch, and we made a proposal trailer to show what the film would be like, and talked about the people who would be involved, and said, hey, give us some money to do this, so we can do it, because the film commission don't want to give us any money, and this is the only real way that we can do it. And that is the great thing about Indiegogo and Kickstarter and stuff like that, is it does open up another avenue for...
take the power back.
Exactly, and it's a great way to sort of communally support people that you like and believe in a very proactive way. But anyway, I came across an Indiegogo campaign. Now, it was posted in Filmmakers The Next Generation, which is run and moderated by our friend Dimi Nakov. I hope I pronounce his surname correctly, but he is also a director friend of ours who's working on his first feature film. And anyway, he moderates this large page, which basically has filmmakers from all over the world posting stuff about their films. And in this case, someone was posting their Indiegogo campaign. But this Indiegogo campaign was not like the normal campaigns that you see, where they're basically pitching one project, and you're supporting that, and you see a plan and a methodology, and you go, okay, yeah, and you get perks, obviously.
Perks are like a little rewards for your
poster,
donations.
DVDs, online screeners,
Signed goods,
that type of thing. And so, anyway, this particular gentleman, his pitch was this, basically. He's like, I have loved films all my life, but I've never made any. And I've got a wife and some kids and a job, which I'm quite happy at, but I've always felt that there's something missing. That's being a director. So I want you guys to give me money to be a director. This money that you give me will help me in being a director. I'll use it for things like equipment and making things. And the perks you get will be a credit on every one of the films I make. Which you can't really promise, to be honest, at a certain point if you actually got into making like studio films and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess, if you're brought in to do The Matrix, they wouldn't really give a shit that you owed some guy on the internet a credit for the $5 donation he gave you 10 years ago.
But I think the most disturbing thing about it was, like, essentially he was like, and you know what, I was like, this is a terrible Indiegogo campaign. This has been posted for all the wrong reasons. It's kind of taking advantage of people's goodwill. And I said as much. I made a comment about it, a ranty comment about it. Which got many thumbs up, I might add.
Right.
The tide of public opinion was firmly on my side.
Yep.
My argument being basically like, you've got to go out and prove you can direct before you can ask people to support you directing.
Yeah.
And you have to be pitching a specific thing.
Yeah.
You can't just come in and go, oh, hey guys, I quite fancy the directing thing, but I kind of need some money. I don't really have much of my own, so
I made the mistake of starting a family, so
give me your money. It's like, because the truth of the matter is, this guy could be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
He could be the least
Well, he will be.
talented person in the world.
Well, he will be if he's never made a film before.
Yeah.
His first film is going to be bad.
And he was like, help make my dream. It's been 20 years in the making. Number one, no, it has not been 20 years in the making. It's been 0 years in the making. Because if it was 20 years in the making, you would have been directing for 20 years. Not just the idea that you'd like to do this thing is not anything in the making. But anyway, so I think it may have been taken down now due to the negative backlash.
Taken down off the Facebook or taken down off the Indiegogo?
Definitely taken down off the Facebook, because I was looking for it when we were talking about it here on the podcast.
Yeah.
But, there's a couple of disturbing things about this. The main one, I thought, I was like, well, he's just a young kid, So when you're 18 and, you have a lot of silly ideas. Basically, you do stupid things.
But haven't we established that he's
33.
Yeah, and he's married with a job that he likes, and he doesn't want to quit it to make films.
But that's what I'm saying. I thought that he was, I thought he was just a young guy, and I was like, well, you might do something like this. But he's 33. He should fucking know better.
Yeah.
But that's also how these types of sites, one, lose their potency.
Yeah.
And kind of ruin it for all the people that really have real solid projects that need supporting.
Yeah.
So what's your take on that?
My take on
Yeah, well, I mean, what?
Well, at first I thought you were going to say that it was good. It was a commendable thing. I thought because he was like, yeah, so got the family, and I'm gonna, get out there, and I'm gonna just give it a go. And I was like, okay, cool. That's commendable. You got family, you got a job, but you'll find a way around. But then, it quickly changed.
Yeah.
Changed tune there. into just another crazy person on the internet.
It was really, but I just think that you cannot ask for money for something that you have not shown you have any aptitude for,
Well, plus, like, the whole idea is that you give money to a specific project and then you see that project come to fruition and then you're inclined to donate to the next project.
Yeah.
But if he's not talking about a specific project, what does he mean directing? Is he just going to direct that money down to the pub, probably?
Well, apparently, it's to buy some editing equipment. But all that sort of thing is like, maybe if you frame that within a specific project, that's fine. But, to be honest, it's like, we bought all our own camera gear. We bought all our own computer gear, and how do we do it? We fucking got our ass out down to the fucking BNZ and got a loan out, and paid it off painfully over years,
and then took out another one,
and we're just doing it. We're about to do it again. We just did it, because there's the thing is like you can't just be asking random strangers for money to kind of support your whimsy. You really have to do the hard work yourself and then go, hey guys, look at all this hard work I did myself and look how far I've come and look what I've achieved. So, you can have some faith in this project.
You can believe in me. I'm a real filmmaker.
I'm a real filmmaker, Dad.
Did it without you.
I did it on my own. So, if you're thinking about an Indiegogo project, just think about that carefully. Just think about, make sure that you really have a great plan in place.
Yeah, because you might think you're not hurting anybody just by putting up that Indiegogo project. But actually you are. You're affecting the chances of everybody else on the website that has a legitimate project. You're just watering it all down and just filling up the website with crap. Yeah.
And speaking of Indiegogo, we did do an Indiegogo campaign, which leads us to our next segment.
Right.
Which we like to have segments here on the Guy and Harley Show. We had 0 in the first episode, but now we're going to have some. And this is the first one. And now, what's happened in this world that we live in today is it's the troll era, which is basically, all people insulting everyone on the internet.
Yeah.
No matter what, whether the person getting insulted is doing good work or bad work or anywhere in between. It's just, if you're on the internet, people are going to abuse you. And it's become, unfortunately,
the norm.
And almost a sport.
Yeah.
And again, I think people have become emboldened by being nameless and faceless.
Anonymity.
They have been emboldened by anonymity.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's caused is people say all this horrible, soul-destroying, crushing stuff to creators, such as ourselves. That they would never say in real life. And to be honest, probably don't even really think. But they're just like, yeah, this is the internet. You insult people on the internet.
That's what you do.
This is the thing. And it's a bit of a shame because, obviously, wouldn't it be nice if we were all just kind of a bit...
propping each other up?
Yeah, and like, encouraging each other.
Well, to a degree. You get surrounded by fucking sycophants.
Well, of course... Yeah, look,
yes men all day.
You don't want it to get carried away, but I mean, this is a problem for people that are doing real, this is like if Peter Jackson had a Twitter, you would want to be on his, you'd get heaps of great comments, but you'd get some real stinkers as well. So, it's not even, like any great artist could be cut down by the internet, basically.
So speaking of great artists being cut down by the internet, what happens to us regularly.
And so we've got this new segment which we call the Troll Hole. And basically this is where we read some of the amazing comments that we've received about...
on our content.
Yeah, and in this case, this is based off the Indiegogo campaign that we successfully ran, and we raised about $5,500 US
Yep.
for our film Older, and this was a comment on that campaign, or a few.
So we posted a video saying, now I called it Guy and Harley in bed begging, and the reason why I did that is because YouTube is all about the name of the video, and there are a lot of perverts on YouTube, and so if you can create a sort of an erotic sounding title, you'll get a lot more clicks on it. It's sad but true, and it's a bit of a cheap trick, I confess, but it works. And so I called it Guy and Harley in bed begging, and one of the first comments we get is
Who's it from?
Okay, so we've got Ajax with AJECKS. Ajax, you guys fucking blow.
One like, cool. One thumbs up to
and
that.
You got a thumbs up to that one. Next up, 2 grown men fucking begging. That's not how you get support, by shamelessly and pathetically begging. It's how you get disrespect and hate.
13 likes for that.
13 likes.
Now who's that's
He's
by
not wrong.
That's by stand up asshole.
Yeah, that's his name.
So you probably get an idea of these people sometimes by their name.
Yeah. I hate beggars. Begging is fucking weak. 15 thumbs up on that. Oh yeah, all right, cool. All right. But so that's how they responded to that one. But for every bit of negativity, there was always a lot of positive money being donated. So we did receive in the end 5.5 G's out of this.
Yeah, and
it's worth a few tears. It's worth a few tears at night.
Yeah, worth a few tears before bedtime.
Yeah.
So what else? What do we got next on the old trolling comments?
So we also, while we were filming our film Older, we got a chap in to do some production diaries for us, and he came in and just filmed some behind the scenes stuff, edited it together, and did these kind of just short updates just to keep people informed about what we were doing. And then so Black Satan Child commented on our production diary 1. He filmed some mundane shit like it's some kind of priceless event or something. Next you might as well film you guys standing in line at the DMV. Will be more entertaining than this shit. To which somebody replied, "Lol, so true, this shit is weak." It's like, man, we've got feelings, guys. We've got feelings, man. We read this shit. Jesus.
So, and also, look, let's just, quickly point out as well that these negative things, if you actually click through onto their profiles, you'll find that they have done absolutely nothing creative themselves.
Oh, yeah, that's why they do it.
They've done really nothing of any note, because
it's never ever people that have done things like people that have videos on their page never come along and post hate comments on our page. Never ever. It's always the anonymous.
Although it would be interesting if the David Finches of the world are coming on and making these comments, because you're like, yeah, well, I guess he knows.
He knows because he does it.
He kind of knows what he's talking about, so we should just accept that. But fortunately, it's not David Fincher.
No.
But
it's not all negative, actually, because we do also get, some positive comments.
Yeah.
For example, we got this one from Edman501011. He said, "I would let this hairy guy climb on top of my wife, pry her legs apart, bang her into submission, then ejaculate his sperm into her vagina. I would be proud to call his offspring my own." And that's on our the project episode 4, our video. So yeah, there's some positives out there too.
Exactly, and you take those and you hold on to them. So that section was called
The Troll Hole.
Next on the agenda, wanted to touch on a disturbing trend, saddening trend on Facebook, and there are many.
I'm a man who spends a lot of time on Facebook,
and I must confess, spend a reasonable amount on myself. And now look, we're old dudes. We're fucking old, all right? We're 31. Pushing 32.
Yeah.
So what's unfortunately happened in our lives is we haven't really grown up because we're artists.
Yeah, we're too smart for that shit.
We're creators, man. We've got that childlike spirit, which burns ever brighter. But most of our friends don't. And not to say friends, I guess, but I guess acquaintances.
Facebook friends.
Facebook friends, which there is a big difference.
Yeah.
And basically they've started doing this thing called having a family. This boring thing called having a family. Now, I've got, nothing actually against kids at all. I think I may have kids one day.
I don't like them.
I think that,
I got woken up by some little shit laughing the other day. Some little shit. One of the neighbours' kids was like playing gleefully outside.
You just wanted to yell and just ruin his day. You just wanted to scream in his face.
I did. I had to get up and go to the toilet because he had woken me up, and I was just thinking I should open the window and yell out the window like, "Shut up, you kids!"
Well, I on the other hand, I don't mind kids. I don't even mind hanging out with my friends' kids. They are quite endearing for the most part. I wouldn't want to spend, a whole day with them, but, like pop in and say hello. It's great. So, it's not that I have anything against kids per se, but what's happened is, a lot of our friends have started having them. And this has led to what I call baby insanity. It's a very sad state of affairs where a mother, doesn't it?
And up until now, a perfectly normal, reasonable person, smart,
intelligent,
a friend,
a good friend, smart, articulate, going places. They have a kid. They were completely normal. They have a kid.
They were the type of person that used to joke about, parents and babies and all that madness. You used to have a laugh with, alongside them,
and never becoming one of those those boring, sad people that just post about their kid all the time. Now they have the baby, and that's when baby insanity kicks in. Now, baby insanity is when every single fucking post you make on Facebook is about your fucking baby. And it's not interesting stuff about your baby.
Yeah, it's not like, my baby won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Which is quite commendable. If your baby's won a Nobel Peace Prize.
Deserves certain acknowledgement.
That on Facebook, for sure.
It's more like, this is a photo of my baby today. And this is a photo of my baby slightly later in the day. And you see this? This is a photo of my baby looking funny.
This is my baby eating its first crusket.
This is my baby at the beach for the first time.
Look at my baby's hat.
It's a cute hat. It's a baby's hat.
And the issue is that all of... So we all know, right? You, me, and the listeners, we all know that this is horrible, boring shit. But the parents, they're surrounded by the sycophants. They're surrounded by the yes men. And so there's all of these people coming along, and they see it, and it's like it's mum and it's auntie and it's all these other people, and they all click like, and they're like, oh my god, look at the first hat. They click, click, click,
oh,
click,
so
click.
cute, so unbelievable.
So now these parents who, up until now probably barely got 5 likes on anything they posted.
They're getting 50
likes.
50 plus likes on every one of these horrible, mundane, atrocious...
And you know what? It feels good.
Yeah, because...
That's nice.
Everyone wants to get 50 likes per
Who doesn't want
post.
to get 50 likes per post?
Makes you feel good about yourself.
50 people are paying attention to me.
But then you literally get into essentially whoring out your baby for likes.
That's what it is.
It's not even about the baby at a certain point. It's about the parents' need for validation on Facebook and using their poor innocent blob to provide it.
And if you think about it, that baby is literally its life is now online. In 20 years there is still going to be baby shots of your dick are going to be online from when you were a baby. Like baby dick pics are going to be online.
And all some cruel child has to do is have a little scroll through the old
Timeline.
Facebook, go down, pick that out, bring it to school, and have a big old laugh at your expense.
Yeah.
And don't think that people won't be doing that.
Oh, they will be doing it. Imagine if, like, say whoever, Justin Bieber had grown up sort of online in this way that babies born in these days have grown up. Say his whole life was on the internet. The pictures of him as a baby with his dick out would be everywhere.
Yeah. Also,
Everywhere.
I do take exception to, like, we witnessed a baby dick.
We witnessed a baby dick the other day.
We were highly offended.
A full frontal baby dick popped up in our news feeds.
Now, there's a couple of problems I have with this. One, why is a baby's dick
on my news feed?
But why is a baby's dick worse than an adult dick? If I put my dick on the news feed, I can guarantee you there would not be 50 likes. I can guarantee you that. There would be some very angry people. But what? Because if I jumped in a time machine, my dick is fucking, 30 years younger? That's fine.
Okay.
That's all right.
Well, that's what we should have done, man. I should have lay on the ground with my pants off in the exact same picture as that baby, and you should have taken a picture of me with my balls out, my hairy balls, and we should have posted it as a response. And be like, is this okay?
Yeah, because if it's not, stop doing what you're doing. Please stop doing what you're doing. But that's the thing. It's like, and everyone just goes, "Oh, it's just a baby."
Just a baby
so it's
dick.
fine. It's just
Grow up, guys. It's just a baby's dick.
You guys grow up and keep your baby's dicks off Facebook. All right. You're the ones that need to grow up. We're mature.
Jesus.
But yeah, and I think it's a worry because also, like, if you think about it, when I was a kid and old mum got out the old photos and showed people, I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Now they don't, now there's no, like, literally that's already there.
Yeah.
That's up, it's online, it's done.
It's for anybody to look at.
And hundreds of people have seen it.
Yeah.
And,
Including predators. Potential predators.
And that's another thing that everyone kind of forgets is, like, this is like a pedophilia's like dream is to have all this fucking horrific stuff up online, and we're just all encouraging it with fucking 50 likes.
Yeah. Baby dick. Child pornography. Like. So good one, guys. Good one.
All I ask is that you just retain a little bit of your common sense, because here's the thing.
We know you're insane with baby.
We know that you've gone baby insane. But just show a little bit of restraint, for God's sakes. I mean, please, just for us normal people. But not only that, for people like...
For your kids.
Yeah, for your fucking kids, man. I mean, are likes really that important to you? Are they? Facebook likes really mean that much to you?
I understand the concept of, like, posting pictures of the kid of, like, boring mundane shit, because you've got people on your Facebook that are your family, and grandma wants to see, grandma wants to see pictures of the babies. I get that. But grandma doesn't want to see the baby dick. She doesn't want to see it. And I don't think she cares. And I
don't think that she wants or logs in enough to see your 50 posts per day about the baby.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone needs to.
So... Yeah, in conclusion, we're putting a full ban on baby pictures on Facebook.
That's right.
Effective immediately.
And if you think you're...
By the authority vested in us.
And if you think you're being sort of clever and everyone's digging it, they're not. Trust me, they're not. Just your close circle of baby crazy mums and family relations who should be coming to see the baby and liking him in person, you fucking freaks.
Yeah. Well, there is that too. Like, surely the family comes around a lot less. They don't need to come around. They've seen
the baby.
They've seen the baby's poo that day. They've seen the hat that it wore. They don't need to come around and see it in person. They get it. You're updated them.
Just take your ego out of it for a second and just stop trying to... You're essentially baby trolling for likes.
Yeah.
And we don't need it. So just think about that next time you take yet another photo of that baby and are hovering over the update button. And
before you say it, no, we won't just delete you because we don't like it, because that would be the obvious response. Well, if you don't like it, delete me,
or just go back to being an intelligent person with more than one thought in your head and tell us what else is going on in your life. How about that instead?
All right, so
next on the agenda. So we've essentially insulted...
Alienated all of our friends.
We've alienated ourselves from all of our friends. They all hate us now and are up in arms and very upset. But we did it for you guys.
We did it for the greater good.
Yeah.
Martyrs.
Yeah,
we're martyrs.
We martyred ourselves. We just martyred ourselves. So next on the agenda is a little segment that I like to call... What did I used to call it?
The Twitter segment?
Well, yeah, I think I will just call it the Twitter segment, but I do have a little bit of theme music that I like to play for it, so I'm just going to...
I hate this segment.
Go ahead and...
Just, I hate it.
Here it goes. Tweet it.
It's a great.
That's the
It's a great intro.
That's the Twitter intro, and now this is basically where I read out interesting tweets. I am a Twitter fan. I'm on Twitter at GPZ, GPIZZEY, and I like to retweet some things that other people say as well. So I just like to read out a few. I throw them out there for you guys and see what you think about them. This is the first one. This is from our friend Campbell Cooley. If you want to learn something new, read an old book.
Ooh, deep.
Yeah.
Deep.
This one is from John. But I don't know, that's it. I don't actually know this person. This is a retweet of a retweet. People who sit in front of electrical outlets without using them in an airport are terrible human beings.
I would have been funnier if he had said they were terrorists.
So that's I think good. This one is from Depressed Santa. New Zealand done. One kid in Wellington woke up, saw me, and asked if I was Gandalf. Fuck's sake. This one's actually a little poem, but I dug it, and we're going to dig into your poem a little bit later. So
stay tuned for that.
So this is a little preview, but this moved me. This one. They say, falling in love is hard with a broken heart. Maybe, but definitely worth one last try to find the one who lightens your dark.
Ooh.
That's from
Moving
Missy at Infinite Chasm.
It's
Chasm.
gotta be chasm.
Yeah. Infinite Jism. Okay. Here we go. This was on New Year's Eve from Matt Fowler. You can do this. Ready? Just shout it out. Happy Blue Deer. Damn it. Not again.
That's so dumb, but kind of funny, I guess. God, the segment.
Here's a goodie. This is from Shari Vanderwerf. Guys, women don't want a picture of your dick. Half the reason we put it inside us is so we don't have to look at it.
That's good. I like
that. What else we got? Here's one from me, Guy Pigden. Just on the babies theme. The Babadook. A cautionary tale about how having children is a thankless, horrid task, ultimately driving you completely insane. # real horror.
I'm sure that would be hilarious if me or any of the listeners had even heard of this film, The Babadook.
That's pretty good. I encourage you to watch it. This one's from Adam Conover. Pretty sure my life's going to have Act 3 problems. Pretty sure you're right.
Pretty sure we all have that problem.
Yeah.
Eventually. Well, here's one of mine.
Okay, go.
All right, here's one of mine. At Harley Neville. I slept like a baby last night. As in, I woke up every couple of hours and I'd shit my pants.
Contrast to my one. Sequel idea for Wolf of Wall Street. The real Wolf of Wall Street. It's about a werewolf.
Right. There you go. I could play the main guy.
Here we go. This one's for American Horror Story fans. This is from Alex Solkin. Jessica Lange, American Horror Story, Freak Show. Yeah, but what is she nominated for?
What?
He's implying that she's an American Horror Story and a Freak Show, as opposed to that's what she is, as opposed to
I get it.
That's not what she's in.
All right. Okay.
What else you got? Got another one for us?
At Harley Neville, I hate the commercials during Dora the Explorer. They always interrupt my wank.
Pedophile jokes.
Which leads nicely into my next one. My next tweet, which is, I hate pedophile jokes. They're so childish. Terrible. At Harley Neville, follow me.
I think that concludes our section on Twitter. You got one more?
One more.
Lay it
one
on
more
us.
At Harley Neville. I got a foot job from an athlete the other day. Now I've got athlete's dick. So,
So I'll just play. Yeah, I'm gonna play that. Wrapping up the old Twitter bag here. Tweeter. That was a Twitter section, so tune in for that every week.
that's a weekly gem.
So I think we've almost covered. We've run the
topics for this
the
week.
gamut.
All right. Yeah. Well, we're at 39 minutes, so that's a good duration.
Did want to delve into one more thing. Should we go for it?
I've got time, mate. I've got time.
Okay, just one more thing. I was having a discussion about a film. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, actually,
Spoiler alert.
You haven't seen this film, have you?
I don't know what film you're talking about.
Predestination.
No. No, I don't think so.
We cannot do this segment.
We cannot do this segment. We are ill prepared.
So I think that's time for us to say.
Well, what's Predestination about? Just very quickly.
It's basically about a guy who's time traveling to try and stop another person who is setting off bombs.
Yeah, I've seen
in
it.
the future.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh yeah,
I watched it on the plane.
Okay, so spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert! If you don't want to get a spoiler for the Predestination, tune out.
Tune out right now.
Tune out. It's been a good show. Thanks for having it. Thanks for listening. And
See you
we'll
later.
See you next week.
Now, for everyone else that has seen it, all 2 people now that are on board, there was an interesting question because basically what happens is within this time travel, he ends up having himself. He ends up creating himself and going back in time and putting the baby back at the orphanage where he goes through this loop, hence predestination. So basically what it turns out is like everything that he does is sort of cause and effect leading to something else in this cycle, which leads back to that point in time. Now, I was having a conversation with Jason Rogan, someone we know, and he said, well, the thing is, though, how can this work initially? Because how does it start? Because the baby has to be born, right? Mm-hmm. But he's taken the baby back, and he's already born. Mm-hmm. So how can this function?
Yeah. This is the same problem we have in all time travel films.
It is talking literally about one of time travel's paradoxes, but also
the grandfather paradox?
Yes, the grandfather paradox, but also it's an argument about how time travel works and, whether that is possible or not, or whether that thing that, you could only go forward from a certain point and therefore, that is not possible. How can he go back in time to have himself if he's already there, basically? Yeah. Thoughts on this one?
Well, I personally subscribe to the multiverse theory, being that every time you go back in time, you don't go back to the same timeline in your past, you go back to an alternate dimension, effectively. So it's every time you jump through time, you are splitting into 2 different dimensions, one where time continues on normally and one where you've gone back and checked out a affected
Yes.
the past of effectively a different dimension.
So you're working outside of time, basically.
Yeah, so there's multiple versions of this person.
Yeah.
Infinite, presumably, versions of this person doing whatever it is they're doing through
Right.
time.
So you think it is possible then that he can go back and have himself?
I think, woo. I didn't say that. Well, I'd pass.
Okay. Well, my take on it is that yes, it is possible, because the only reason it's not possible is because time only goes forward, right? So it's only going one way, right? But if time can go both ways, which is basically proven by the fact that there is time travel and that they can go into the past, therefore there doesn't have to be any beginning to anything, because it can go the opposite way. Therefore, you could go back and do that because there is no linear time narrative.
Okay.
And therefore, it would be possible for him to go back and have himself, because time doesn't go one way. And therefore, if time does not go one way, you can basically work outside of it to do things. And you can go the other way to start something.
Okay. Well, dear viewer, if you want to sort of get a grasp of Guy's thoughts on time travel, you should go to guypigden.com, because right there is his film, Do Scientists Dream of Electric Toasters? Now, it's quite old, but it's still very good. Very, very good. And the science is sound. It is, because his dad's a genius. And his dad helped him with it.
He stars in it alongside me, and it kind of explores that idea, but not in such a way, because essentially what this film is doing is creating a paradox, for these types of debates to go on, whereas mine is creating a paradox, but it's not creating one which is impossible to begin. It's just it just locks into a paradox, and so that's the difference. But as always, we encourage your feedback. This is our second podcast. We're getting there.
So get at us, tweet at us at GPZ,
at GPZ, at GPIZZEY,
and at Harley Neville. Also add me on Facebook, Harley Neville, and we will leave you with a short poem. Something to think about, some food for thought.
One of your poems.
One of my poems. This is my poem.
All right, lay it on us.
All right, it goes like this. It goes, every piece of plastic you have ever touched still exists. Every bottle of Coke, every dispenser of soap, every spray and wipe, every Sprite, every beer at a rugby game, any cleaner you care to name, they all still exist. Then there's the dishwashing liquid, those little bottles of liquor, your baby sipper from when you needed a babysitter, the ball you kicked when you were a kid, the disposable nappies that caught your shit. They all still exist. You can send them up in smoke, but they never break down. Their core components will remain forever abound. It's plastic, not magic. So it doesn't disappear. It's literally floating in the ocean or in the atmosphere. So next time you're at the beach and you see a bottle bobbing by, know that bottle is a message that will traverse the ocean of time. There you go. One slight fuck up at the end there.
That's good. I'm going to go away and think about that.
Pick up some plastic and shit.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what if you recycle it? Does it exist in another form?
Well, I guess it still exists. It still got created from its sort of core components. And
it has not
we're reusing it.
Gone anywhere.
Yeah. We're reusing it, which is good. But really, if you recycle some plastic, right, how many times do you think that plastic gets recycled before it ends up in the landfill or in the ocean? You know, like probably only once or twice. Sure. Like a Coke bottle you use, you might get recycled, but I doubt it goes through the recycling system that often. Like it'll end up in the bin at some point.
So maybe fucking get those bags, the green bags at the grocers, eh?
Well, I've got them, but that's rich coming from you. You just bought some groceries this morning, and it was all plastic bags.
I'm talking to the fucking podcast. You don't ruin my... I'm just trying to be fucking profound. You don't ruin it.
You gotta lead by example, man.
Don't expose me as a hypocrite.
You gotta lead by example, dude.
I'm just saying, maybe take those fucking green bags. Stop being such a lazy shit.
Take the cloth bags.
And take those green bags down there and forget about the plastic for one time. Do something right in your life.
Exactly. And you know, pick the eco toilet paper maybe. It might cost extra 50 cents, but, you know, at least it's recycled and less plastic and all that.
So, yeah, make sure that you hit us up. Do they have an email where they can email us things?
pigvilleproductions@hotmail.com?
Yeah, Pigville Productions, Pigville Productions@hotmail.com. Ask questions, feedback, whatever. We don't care what it is. We'd just like to hear from you.
Anything you give us, we'll turn it into content.
Probably.
All right, so thank you very much for watching. I'm Harley Neville.
I'm Guy Pigden.
We'll see you next time.
We bid you adieu.
You've been listening to the Guy and Harley Podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.